Okay, good morning to all of you. So yesterday I have given some tasks for all of you, and after the class I am going to share the link, and then you will need to submit it all, and then I am going to check it one by one. Okay. Some of you have yesterday sent me some notes of that shared already, but I will take that into the links. The link will be open after the class. Okay, means by 12:30, because I have one more class after that is right after that. So I will open that link by 12:30. Okay, fine. So now today we are going to see some more things, some concepts of parent-child process, means how we can create a parent, how we can create a child process. Okay. So first, before proceeding for that, I would like to ask you people some questions regarding the topic of parent-child process and what is the thing. Okay. So I will ask you one by the names. Fine. So first, tell me what is a process? Anyone? Tell me what is a process?
Program in execution.
Okay. Now there is a concept of in between the processes, a parent process and a child process, right? So parent process and the child process. So parent, what is a parent process and what is a child process? Anyone, you can say that what is a parent process and what is a child process? No one having any answer. What is the parent process and what is the child process?
So a parent process is a process which creates different child process, like which has some sub processes in it.
Okay. And what is the child process then with respect to that?
So child process is the sub process of that, or we can say that is a part of that process.
Okay. So in that respect of the concept of whatever the parent or child process is, so the child process that is going to be newly created, right? A child process is going to be newly created and that will be aligned with the parent process, right? So this child process have the attributes or the, what I can say, the facilities, whatever the components or attributes have this parent process, the child process will inherit most of them, or as per the requirement, that thing will be incorporated within the child processes, so that child can perform the task or to execute a particular process, right? Now in this context, there is one more thing, that if suppose a parent and child process is running simultaneously and there is the connection, all the things are right, all the things are fine, but if a process, considering a child process, if a child process was left by the parent, or maybe the scenario is the parent process gets crashed or died before the child process, so then in that scenario the child process, what is the term or what type of process we called it? The child becomes
orphan process.
okay. And also what is a zombie process?
When child
killing of child process.
Terminate.
So the zombie process, we can say that a process, the child process may have completed his execution via all the system calls and all the things, but still that have some entry in the process table. So the process, we can say it is in terminated state, but it is not terminated yet. So a child process that have worked, the execution of the process have done, but still the entry that is needed into the process table, it was there. So the child was not totally terminated. That is a concept of zombie process. And what is an orphan process? Where the child, where the parent gets died before the child process. So parent has finished or terminated, but the child is still there. So in that case, some kernel supported stations or some kernel was supported there. So in that case, the basic kernel process that we can say that init will be helping there for this or to support there for this orphan processes, right? Now, today we are going to see some of this type of functionality, some of this process algorithms or process codes, how to create we can child and parent process, this type of. So what is the function we use to create a child process? What is the function we can use to create a child process? What is the name of that function?
Fork.
So fork.
Fork function we used to create a child process. Fine. Okay. So now let's move to the part that where we are going to discuss. So our first topic of discussion or first thing we are going to discuss today here, that is we need to write a C program. Fine. We need to write a C program to create a child and a process and allow the parent to display the parent and child to display the child process on the screen. Means the thing we need to first create a child process, and then in the output section we need to display something, some statement that I am the child parent process, I am a child process. This type of scenario will come. Okay, means as a display, just we need to create a child process. The basic things we are going to create a child process. This is our main target. So aim is that we need to write some C programming. We need to write something to create a child process, and the parent process will show and display that yes, I am the parent of this child process. Right? So by using some system calls of Linux, we will write this C program to create a child process. So our main target or main aim is to create a child process. And what is the system call that will be helping us in this scenario? That is the for. The for function will be there to create this child process. Now, how we can write it? So to do that, first we need to use some editor. We need to use some terminals. Okay, so let me share the screen of terminal. Okay, so we have the terminal screen. We can see it. Now, first we need to open an editor. We need to create something. So what? Suppose I am using a nano editor or VI editor. Any editor can be. So suppose using a nano editor. Nano, I can say the term that is nano child.c. This is my file name. Nano child.c, where I am going to write all the programs and all the things. Nano child.c. So my editor interface open, and where we are going to write the process. So we have said that we need to write a C programming. We need to write a C program to create a child process function. So means what? Why this C programming? Means when the system call using some system calls of Linux, the background scenario we can understand that how the thing is going at the back end, because all the system calls are already present. So using that system call into the corporation of C programming, we are going to write or create a child process, right? So the basic thing, if I'm writing a C programming, hash include stdio.h. Okay, then hash include some library. Fine. Okay, hash include stdlib.h. Then some function creation will be there. So suppose considering as int main. Now we need some process ID. As when I'm trying to create a process, there will be a process ID. So int PID, that is our process ID. Then we are going to using the fork function, right? So first there will be three cases here. We are going to consider three cases. First case will be if by any mistake. So while I'm trying to create something, so the creation will not happen successfully, or there is some error. In that scenario, there will be a display error that it is not work or any problems. So case one case we can say that is that fork error. So the fork function didn't perform, right? So that's why the fork error or error something message will be displayed. So that is my case one. Case two, here if the fork function, if it is fine, if the thing is correct, then there will be creation of child process. So the child process will be created successfully. So two scenarios. That first one, if the fork function does not perform successfully, then in that scenario there will be an error message. Second case, if the fork function performs successfully, in that case the child process will be created and a message will be displayed. And third one, it is a default process. When the child process will be created successfully, then a parent process will be associated with it. So then the message also display that yes, I am the parent process for this child process. This is three basic scenario we are going to first see, and then in the further programming in the next problem we are going to see much more on that. Okay, so this is my three case. So that's why first we need to use the fork function. So the process ID, the PID, will be incorporated with some fork function. So suppose using some switch, as there are cases, so using some switch technique, my PID, this PID will get by the fork function. So when the fork function will perform successfully, the child will create it successfully, then we can get a ID. We will get an ID for the child process. So that ID will be incorporated in this particular PID section. So switch PID equal to for function that is incorporated here. So we have incorporated the for function, right? Now here there will be three cases, right? So what are the three cases? Suppose case, we can say printf. If what is the first case, that if the fork function did not perform successfully, then there will be some error. So it can be any error. So unsuccessful attempt we can write. Fine. Then it will be exited. So as it is fine, so there will be an exit zero statement as we are using the void function. Switch case, so it will be break I'm using here. Fine. Then case number, second case I'm writing. So first one is -1, or we can say case 1. Second one is, we can say case 2 or case 0, whatever the term, no issue. Okay, so suppose my case 2 I am writing here printf. So here when the function will be created successfully, or when the fork function will perform successfully, then we will get a or we will create that child process. So in that case I can write I am a child process. Again the same statement will be there. Just a minute. Where's the file? Okay. Now here my next, the third case will be printed, or third case will be there. That is a default case, we can say, when the parent or child process have created successfully. When the child process is created successfully, we can write something here, the default. Then it will be as printf. I can display a message, I am the parent of that child process. Then again, that exit 0, then some break. Okay, and then in the end, 1 for this, for this one. So 1, 2, 2 brackets. Okay. So now I have write some program for the creation of child process and parent process. Okay, now let's how to run it. It is a C program. We have write some C program here, right? So how we can execute a C program? What is the command to execute a C program? It is not like that for shell programming, that is sh. When I am using some shell programming, we are using that sh command, right, to run the shell programming. But when now I am using or trying to run a C program, we have created a C file here. We have seen that there is a .c extension. So what is the command to execute that or to perform that? That is gcc. GCC, this command will be helping us to execute that child processes file. So gcc child.c, this is the statement. For GCC, it is for the compiler. Actually, it is the compilation will be done here. So when I'm writing this child cc, we are getting some warning, right? We are getting some warning and one error, I think we are getting. So that is exit. So what happened? Let's see. Yes, I have made a mistake here. Okay, so Control A, Y. Okay, now again I will run that. So here I am getting some a warning. So warning will not actually any problem. Warning will not give any type of problems there, right? So then we need to run that, or we need to run this particular file. So how to run that particular file? / then a.out. This is the scenario. Here we can see that I am a parent. I am the parent process. I am the parent of the child process, and I am a child process. We can get to this type of messages. Okay. Better to understand that, I will write something here. Okay, first of all, nano child of C, then here. Okay, now the scenario is that we are getting it to separate lines. So we have a child process, and also we are having the parent process. I am the parent of the child process, and then I am the child process, right? So this is the scenario by which we can create a particular file or particular child parent. By using some fork function, the system call of fork function, we can create these child processes. Okay, the thing is too much hectic, so or too much error or warning. So let us see it one more time. First, let us check the code here, the nano child.c, where I have written this particular code. For error, the child, I am the child process, or I am the parent of the child process. That is the scenario by using some header files, and this is the fork function. So if the fork function is created successfully, then we will get that process ID for the fork function, and then the scenario will go on. This is the simple code for that. Then coming out to that, first we need to run that or compile that. That is by using some GCC command, GCC the file name. Here we are getting some warning, that is implicit declaration of function for warning will not any type of issue. If there's an error, then it will be need to deal, but warning will not be any problem, right? Then we can run out with this particular file with the help of .a/a/a.out, and then I'm getting this simple output, or means that we can see that we have successfully created the child process. Here we have created a child process. We have successfully created a child process, right? Now this is a child process we have created. We are getting, or we are finding out that a child process was created. Now, in the concept of this second one, we have the next problem that is we are going to talk here. Just a minute. Okay. The next problem that we are going to do here, that is write a C program to create a zombie process. Here we are going to create a zombie process. The zombie process means that we have asked in the few seconds back, that zombie process means that parent have led the child process, but the child process has some entry in the process table. So we are going to create that child process, or we are going to create a zombie process scenario here. So how to create that zombie process? What is the scenario by which we can create a zombie process? Right. So the scenario is we need to create a zombie process with the help of this C programming. Write a C program to create a zombie process here. So here first again we will need to use a fork function to create a child process. Right. A fork function, first there will be creation of the child process, and then that child process will be the zombie process. So the creation of zombie. So here what happened, we were going to terminate the child process, and exit status of the child process will be not reported to that parent. So here means the by first doing the fork function, by creating the fork function using that fork, we are creating the child process. Then the child process will be going for the we are putting that in a sleep mode, or the child process will be in a sleep mode. So the parent process will be left. So when it is in sleep mode, the parent process will not be active. The parent process will leave that, and then after a particular time, after a certain times period, it will just put that, or it will become a zombie process. So exit status of the child process will be not reported to the parent. Of status of any process which is known, which is zombie, can known by this particular scenario, right? So the zombie process, it is just very simple, or I can say the code is very simple. Just we need to write a fork function to create that fork, to create the child process, and then putting it into a sleep mode for some time. Then it will be going for in a zombie state mode. Okay. So before doing that, one thing we are going to see also here, that is our orphan process, that how we can create an orphan process is created. So the scenario is in orphan process, that the parent process will die before the child process. So here the scenario is the parent process is die before the child process. So the orphan process scenario, again that fork function will be created. I'm going to do that two programs right now, but first let us discuss that. Here also the same scenario will be going on, that we need to create the child process. The fork function we are using to create a child process. Then we are getting some PID. We are going to get some PID. So if considering the PID we have some values, then we are going to print the child and the parent ID. Printing the child and parent ID first. Then we are going to put the sleep. The child process will be putting in a sleep mode. Then we are going to print again the child and parent ID for some time. So that we are getting some processes, or we are getting some result of the orphan processes. Fine. So we can see that the process, the child process that is there previously, the ID, and after the sleeping mode of sometimes the child, the parent process or the process ID will be going to change, right? So we will going to see that one first. So suppose first let me create a particular file. So I'm working on that file again, that nano child process. So okay, so I'm opening the nano child process. I'm going to delete all the scenarios. So again, I am going to write some C programming code here. So hash include, okay. Okay, now we need to create some parent. We need to give some process ID. So suppose in PID here that is working in PID, and that PID will the value of that fork. Without when the fork will be used to create the child process, the child process value, the value will be put into this PID. So PID will be the value, will have the value of this fork function. PID have the value of this fork function. So PID equal to this fork function. Now we are writing that if this PID, if this PID having some value that is equals to 0, if this PID is having some value that is equal to 0, then what happened? Printf myself, suppose myself a child process. So a child process is created. So myself a child process, and my process ID is. So I am trying to find out the process ID here of that particular child process. So here I am trying to find out that process ID. So how we can find out how the process ID we can find out. So process ID, it will be some numbers. So %D that will be used here as it is a number, %D. Then how we can find the process ID, how we can get the process ID, what function we are using. Can anyone tell me what function we can use here to get the process ID? What is the function we can use? What function we can use here to get the ID of a process?
Get PID.
Fine. So I am writing that get PID here. Using that get PID function, we are actually getting the ID of that particular processes, ID of that particular process, right? Now this child process is created. Now this child must have a parent process. The child must have a parent process at the time of creation. So again, what is the parent process? We are going to look out for that. So, okay. So I can write. So this is a child process. So parent of that child process ID. So here I am getting the parent, the ID of the parent process, the child process who have a parent process. What is the parent process ID? I am trying to find out that. So parent of the child process ID is trying to getting. So considering %D again, closing this, then how we can get the parent ID, or what is the function we can use to get the parent process ID? Child, to get a child process, we are using the get PID. Then what is the get PPID? So here I am using that get PPID function, get PPID function to find out the parent process ID, to find out the parent process ID. Then we are let them work. We are putting that into some sleep mode for some particular time, considering for some 10 seconds. Okay, so I am putting it for some sleep mode in some 10 seconds. Okay, then in the next part, after the 10 seconds, after that 10 seconds, we are going to again find out the child process, the process ID, and child parent process ID again, right? So the same scenario will be there. So what I need to do, okay, of the here like that. Okay, just give me a minute. Okay, so I'm writing. Okay, so I have copied all the scenarios and put it the same lines as the same. The statements are same. We can see that the statements are same here. So that's why I didn't write it again. I have just copied that particular part and paste it, and that copy is not allowed there. So I have copied into some other places, right? So here I have written all the things that after the 10 seconds of time that we have again writing, we're trying to find out the child process and again the process ID of that particular using the get PID function and my child process, parent process ID. What is if it is changed, if it is DOM-based, then it will be either changed or whatever the scenario orphan process, then any other process will support that particular child process. That is the scenario, right? So in orphan process, if the process gets stopped or if the parents get died before the child process, then the child process must have been supported by some other processes, by some other parent process actually, right? So let us see or let us check that what is the scenario. Okay. So let's run this particular program. So to run this particular program, how we can write it? First of all, we need to compile it. First of all, we need to compile this particular program, gcc child.c. So to compile it, we are first compiling. So we can see we are getting several type of warning regarding the functions. Okay, so that is not any type of issue. Warnings, it will not mean any problem there. So fine. So warning, there are some warnings, right? So now we need to run this particular program, that is dot slash a dot out. So when I'm trying to run this particular program, look, first scenario in that I am a parent process and my process ID we are getting, and then the parent process is parent process. So the parent of that, first of all, I think, okay. Okay. So first we are getting a child process ID. So first we can see the child process ID is 17230. Here we are getting the child process ID 17230, and also I am getting a child process ID that is 17230. So the child process ID we are getting the same. So in the first case, the child parent process ID, here the child parent process ID. What is the child parent process ID? First case, the 17229. So when a child process is created here, the parent process ID is 17229. So after that, after putting it to the sleep mode, we were putting into the sleep, but after some time scenarios, we are finding out that the child process child process ID is same, 17230, the same child process ID, but the parent process, the child parent process ID is 1450. So it has changed, means we are understanding that previously what parent process is there, after that particular scenario, when it's become an orphan process, some other parent process is trying to support it, and that parent process ID is now 1450. So previously it was 17229, now it is 1450, now it is 1450. So the parent process previously there that have some this 17229, that is I'm talking about here the child parent process for that supporting this 17230, that is the parent process 17229, that is the parent process ID was 16267, that is for this particular process. So this parent process, the parent for that parent process we are getting this 17229, but here the child process, that is actually my first creation of that we are trying to create, that is 17230. After certain times we are finding out that we are getting a result that the parent process was dead, for that means the 17229 is not there, and we are finding some other process ID that is called 1450. We are getting some other process ID that is 1450. So we can easily find out that the orphan process, it is this child process, the ID of this child process is 17230, is a orphan process, becomes an orphan process, and that's why it is supported by any other parent process. It is getting support from any other parent process. So this is the thing, this is the command this is the program we can write by using some C programming. So by using simply a fork function, at the time of study, when we have actually studied it in a theoretical way, what we have seen that how to create a parent or how to create a child process by using some fork function. At that time, that every question, the question comes into the mind that what is the thing, how we can write it, how to create the child process using the fork function. So when we can see it, we can visualize it, that nothing to write that too much things, right? The fork function, just simply using the fork function, we can create a child process. But by just simply writing the fork function, we can create a child process. And the fork function, when I am using that fork function, that value will be stored, the ID will be stored into this PID. The ID will be stored into this particular PID, means a variable we have used where this fork function, the ID of the particular child process will be stored here. The ID of that particular process will be stored here. So this is the simple process how we can create a child process, how we can run that, how we can find out the ID of the particular process using the get PID function, how we can find out the parent process ID of the child process using some get PPID function. So this is the simple scenario to create a child process and to get the ID of the child process and get the ID of the parent process, right? So today one task that will be given in the, and you will need to submit that into the same link, right? So the scene is that you have to write a problem, you have to write a C program. By just, I am just giving a small part of the program from you. The concept is here, just you need to write it, you need to find out how, what code can be write. The scene is that write a C program to create a child process and just display the ID of the child process and the parent ID of the child process. Just a very simple part that you can find out that the concept is already I have said. Just you need to find out the most easiest part here, how we can print that. We need to write a C program to create a child process and print the ID of